How we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. And well. Have you seen the news? If you've got no electricity and no internet, which is unlikely because you wouldn't be watching this otherwise. But yeah, it looks like slavery formed about half hour ago. I was flicking through Facebook for my sins, and it just exploded. It was so at first it was just a group I was in. And it just said Slayer have announced a show. They're headlining a festival. And there's a lineup for this festival in America. And Slayer are headlining. And my reaction was, I said, looks like someone's made a fuck up. Because I thought that must be Kerry King that's playing the festival. And some wethead has just put Slayer out of just a simple mistake, I suppose, but no. And then another, is it Knotfest? And yeah, and now it's just it's blown up and Slayer are reforming. But I suppose I might as well go through it. But to me, this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know a reunion was inevitable. They always are. I know the final show's never the final show, but you think they would have ran the well a bit dry beforehand, you know. It's been 5 years. I'll read the thing in a minute just in case I miss anything out, but let's just go through it. So Slayer did their final shows in 2019. I think I saw them in 2018. I saw them at Wembley Arena with Anthrax playing the same 9 songs. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Lamb of God, Anthrax, and Obituary. I think it was 4. Yeah, Obituary opened. Yeah, that makes sense. Something's telling me I'm missing a band, but I'm not sure. But yeah, it was all well and good. And it's been no secret that Tom's heart's not been in it for a while. And he wanted to retire. Dave Lombardo said in a recent interview that Tom wanted to retire when he was in the band. And it's just really funny that this has just come out of nowhere. As I know money talks, and you don't have to. They were offered money. Yeah, I know they're obviously fucking offered a load of money, but again, I can't. Well, I'm guessing Tom just must have been used to the money that was coming in from the tours, and yeah, he's retired. But yeah, that fund is all you've got, isn't it? You've got nothing else coming in unless you've got a lump sum that you've invested somewhere. And yeah, I think even the best of pensioners don't go far nowadays. But it's just weird because Kerry King has sat on this solo album all this time, and he said from the get-go he's just going to carry on. He's going to get a new band together, and I'm basically going to carry on doing what I was doing with Slayer. He's always said if Slayer split up tomorrow, he'd just form a new band that sounded just like Slayer. He's got his own sound. He knows what he likes. He likes what he does. I'm going to carry on doing it. Now, a lot of people aren't so hot on the last couple of Slayer albums. That's mainly because Kerry King is the primary songwriter now. It used to be Jeff, or then it was sort of middle for a little while, but then it's predominantly become Kerry. I'm not commenting one way or the other on that. I'm just saying that's how it's been. So a lot of people hate on Kerry for a lot of reasons as well. None of them really relevant, but it was. My opinion was always, well, so what you like about Kerry, but he is literally the only reason you have a Slayer today, because no one else gives a shit. If it wasn't him plugging away in the studio, no one would be there. Now he's recently. Here's the thing. So he recently said in that interview that he's played bass on all the albums since the late 90s. I didn't realise that was news. Again, everyone reacted as if that was a new thing. It's always been heavily rumoured at least. Anyway, so you've got the farewell tour, you've got your DVD and all that good stuff, and they've retired. Kerry has said from day dot he's going to form a new band and carry on where Slayer left off, and Paul Bostap's on board. There was always a bit of, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? I've always been banging the drum, by the way. I should have put a video about this, but I said it should have been Rob Dukes from Exodus. Ex Exodus. There you go. Because Kerry always spoke well of Rob Dukes, and you know, he said, "I think the last couple of albums they've put out are the best they've done. I think he's the best singer they've had." And I just thought, yeah, he'd be really suited for a new, you know, Kerry King-led Slayer, because that's what the new band's going to be. I was kind of hoping they would go in more of a death metal route, more of a heavier route, and I thought, optimistically, maybe naively, that Kerry would. He wouldn't have the shackles of making a Slayer album over him, and he'd be free to sort of make the heaviest album he could make. But no, it seems like he quite likes the shackles of having a Slayer album over his head, and he's quite happy just making another Slayer album. And from those couple of songs that have been released, it sounds like that's what's going to be. But he's waited all this time. He said he wanted the whole restrictions of touring and the whole pandemic bullshit to blow over. And now he's finally released it. You've seen the artwork. You've seen, was it 1 or 2 songs they've released now? The lineup, the speculation of the lineup is being confirmed. Again, I thought Rob was the guy for the job, but you got Rob from Death Angel on vocals, who, no, without a shadow of a doubt, is going to do a great job on the vocals, and he's going to be a great frontman for the limited time they tour. But he is the singer of Death Angel at the end of the day, and Death Angel will eventually, inevitably come first. So I think he should have got someone who's not going to be going anywhere else. He should have got a young upstart where this will be their first gig, and they can, you know, touring with him will be their priority, i.e. Rob Dukes. But yeah, so you've got this buzz coming now, and then Kerry says, "I've not spoke to Tom since that last show, not even a text message." So it goes to show that they're not really close. And then within that small time frame, within that first interview he's done with Rolling Stone, to the fact that what are they even called? Is it just Kerry King? Is it called Kerry King's? But yeah, he's not even done a gig with this band yet. The album's not even out. And he's already announced Slayer shows, which, in my eyes, is just going to take all the wind out of the sails for his solo project. Surely. It doesn't... Like, if I was his manager, I'd be tearing my hair out now. I'd be going, well, how am I supposed to promote this? It's like when you've got gigs lined up. You don't announce you're doing this gig until this gig's sold out, or at least, yeah, at the very least sold out. You don't... You know, because if you promote too many gigs at once, people are just going to go, oh, well, I'll see them at this one, or I'll see them at that one. No, you want them all at this one, because they know, as far as they know, this is the only thing that they've got going. So, what on earth are they playing at, or what on earth are they thinking? You'd think he would have got an album, well, a couple of albums out. You think it would have completely dried up, because people are going to be going, A, out of curiosity, and B, out of, oh well, I prefer Slayer, but this is all I've got at the moment, so I'm going to have to do it. And not only that, yeah, it's just Kerry King, isn't it? I thought it was called Kerry King's something. I don't know why I got that. Maybe I got it confused with KK's Priest. Because he could have... I'll tell you where he's ballsed up as well. He should have gone straight out as a headliner. He's doing this tour with Lamb of God and Mastodon. So Lamb of God are playing Ashes of the Wake in full, and Mastodon are playing Leviathan in full, and Kerry King is a support band. I think he should have gone... Granted, he might not have had to have gone big venues straight away, but he still should have gone out as a headliner, and then he would have climbed up that way. I don't know why he's gone out as a support band, because what's he going to do 45 minutes? He should have... yeah, I think he should have built his profile as a headliner. But... whatever. But still, the album coming out, tour, festival. He could have built it up 2-3 albums. Now no one's interested because they're just going to go, yeah, I'm just going to go watch Slayer. And now these 2 dates have been announced. Like, offers are just going to be rolling in. You know it as well as I do. So yeah, what the fuck was he thinking? Don't get it. I honestly don't get it. And again, I know money talks, but let the money build up, for God's sake. It's only been 5 years and we've had the lockdowns and everything between now and then. What else was I going to say? The album's coming out. Yeah, what he could have done as well, he could have done the whole... so he's got, if this album is good as well, he could have toured off that, and then, bit by bit, he wouldn't really have needed to reform Slayer, because Tom's gone off into the woods to live on a ranch. He doesn't want to know anymore. Everyone knew that. And then he could have gone, right, anniversary of Hell Awaits, the anniversary of Rain in Blood alone. He could have gone playing Rain in Blood in full, playing South of Heaven in full, playing Seasons of the Abyss in full. That's 3 years touring off the bat. And every anniversary of this album, that album, every other album, he could have gone, I'm playing this album in full. That would have sold tickets on its own. For the album selling, if the album didn't sell that well, he could have just autographed the album and sold it at the merch stand. Everyone would have bought that. Yeah, just like Jeff Tate does with Queensryche. I mean, I know he plays clubs, but the fact of the remains the same. Slayer isn't, Kerry King isn't Jeff Tate, but yeah, I think he could have done that, and that's what KK's Priest should be doing. Now they've got a couple of albums under their belt, they should be taking advantage of anniversaries of albums, and that will stimulate the ticket sales. But yeah, I don't know. I knew it was inevitable. Final tours are a myth, but the timing of this just seems fucking weird. So, yeah. What do you think? Let me know in your comments, and let's see how this one pans out.